Seconds out, delighted to be joined by the first two letters of SJAM Boxing, Sam Jones. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. How are you?
Yeah, very good, thank you. How are you coping with lockdown as it stands?
At the start, it was like, yeah, this is okay. This is normal. But then after like a few weeks, it does get difficult. But like, you don't like want to show weakness. Do you know what I mean? You don't want to show weakness and say, oh no, I'm struggling. But it is a struggle. But like, I think now I'm kind of in a routine, and I'm doing a bit of training as well. Like I'm training like actually really hard. It might not show me chubby checkers, but I am training. I'm running. I'm doing little circuits and stuff. So I'm trying to keep keep active, and it's helping a lot. But again, I'm not on any kind of diet. As I said yesterday, you see my tweet yesterday. I thought I'm the fittest and fattest I've ever been
Yeah,
because I'm training like Usain Bolt, but I'm eating like Henry VIII. So it's a bit of a, but
just
I
don't
can't
chop any
diet.
women's heads off.
No, 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 I won't do any of that. Definitely not. But look, it's hard for everyone at the moment, isn't it? Like it's especially, I mean, for our business, like the fighters itself, like the promoters, the managers, like with no boxing, no life. It is what it is. But it is teaching us to especially me. It's teaching me to like appreciate small things. Like it really has. Like it's like even just your evening, you run outside or your evening walk, whatever you want to do. Like your day, it makes you appreciate small things, doesn't it? Like feeding
Yeah.
birds has become a hobby of mine.
Oh,
Yeah, so I like
that's
I
sweet.
don't know,
That's lovely.
don't don't know me, but yeah, like I'm enjoying the small things in life.
That's nice. I totally agree with you. I've never been so grateful to have a garden before
Yeah.
in my life.
You're lucky because I'm in Surrey. I'm in Surrey and I'm in an apartment. So it's a nice apartment, but like I'm moving back to Derby actually next week. And it's like 4-bedroom house. So like I can't wait to go back to my house in Derby. Big garden outside. Like I just like that. There is just like the gratitude for a garden right now is just going to be unbelievable. I can do training outside in my garden. I don't have to. I don't know, the little things in life.
I'm going to talk to you about some of your fighters individually, but first of all, I want to
Yeah,
take you back a little bit. And I'm sure you've
yeah.
told this story before, but just tell us how SJAM Boxing came together, who came up with the idea, and how it started from its roots.
It's all Adam. I'm a fluke, and it's all Adam. No, it's
Well, I knew that.
it, yeah, no, no. Me and Adam work very well together. I mean, people know Adam's my best friend. He really is. Like he's with. I'm not arrogant enough to say like without Adam, I wouldn't be where I'm at the moment. Like he's been we work together so well. Like he brings like you've met Adam many times, haven't you, Danny? Like we're both very different people, very different backgrounds, different upbringings, but we work very well together. But how it came about is long story short, I was representing Joe and he was representing David Hayes, David's manager, lawyer. And when it came to negotiating, we were negotiating against each other. But we actually end up usually when you negotiate against each other, it's usually kind of we got on really well, and we were like we just ever since then we thought, you know what, when Joe signed with David, we thought, why don't we do this like together? And like Adam's work, people don't know a lot about Adam, but he's worked in boxing for over 20 years. He's worked with Frank Warren. He's worked with Frank Warren, Eddie Hearn, Barry Hearn. He's worked with the McGuigans. He's got a huge background in boxing, Adam, and he's a real people. I mean, I think he's a genius of a bloke. I do, Adam, and he doesn't get the because when people say SJAM, they do usually think me because again, I'm like probably the loud one. It's not always
Probably.
intentional, but yeah, probably the loud. Listen, Adam's louder than
Apart
what
from
you
a
think.
press conference in Liverpool, yeah.
Apart from it, yes, people forget about that. I think. Do you know what I'm going to do,
I'll never
Danny?
forget.
I'm gonna send. I was there for that there, but I'm gonna
So
send.
was I,
I'm gonna tell Adam. You're doing the next press conference.
mate.
Bring back
It was the
Morley.
best press
Bring back
conference
Morley.
speech I've ever seen live. It's just amazing.
Both of them were. Do you know what I mean? When he did the first one, can you remember? Because he got a lot of abuse in the first one,
Yeah.
and I was there for both. And I wasn't heavily involved with Adam. I didn't really know Adam then. I only just started to know him. We was only just starting to negotiate the Joyce deal. But then obviously the second one, we're already in business together. Do you know what I mean? So it's like it's crazy the in betweeners thing. But yeah, so I'm waffling. But like the way we got together was He was representing David. I was representing Joe. We both formed a partnership, and I would like to. Well, it speaks for itself. It's a very successful partnership.
So what year would that have been? How long ago?
Danny, I don't know. You know it. Okay, so this would have been. The year that when did Hay fight Bellew?
Oh, I'd have to have a quick look on my phone, wouldn't I? But
Christ, the first one. Okay, so it's 3 years ago, Danny, because 2 years ago was the first one, and then the second fight happened a year later because David got injured. So yeah, it was it's about 3 years, now. So in 3 years, we've done pretty well.
So you had just Joe at the start. How many fighters have you got now?
So we've got.
You can't get this wrong. You can't miss anyone out.
No, I won't get it wrong. I won't get it wrong. So we've got Joe Joyce, Guido Vianello, George Fox, Louis Edmondson, Florian Marcoux, Lerone Richards, Cody Davis. Have I missed anyone else?
Hedges? John Hedges?
And John Hedges.
So that's 8. 1 to 8 in 3 years. That's pretty impressive. Was that...
But just let me finish with that one. We are fortunate, and because I feel bad sometimes, Danny, because when I get an inbox, I'm like, I'm just a normal person from Derby, Danny. I am. I really am. I'm a normal person. I know I've come across, but I am. I'm very, you know me away from the camera as well. I'm not like what people probably perceive me as. When I get people inboxing me saying, this is top level fighters, messaging me, it humbles me, but I have to be really invested to sign a person, especially now. Not even at the start, maybe I'm a bit eager, but now I very much pick and choose who I want to sign. And I'm very fortunate to be able to do that.
What was kind of the grand vision when you and Adam started SJAM? Was it to have kind of the biggest management company in the world? Was it to have a few select fighters? What was the plan?
Like a boutique management company that offers us a unique service, which I do believe that we're like no other. We really are. We're like no other because you've seen how we are with my fighters, Danny. Like we are with our fighters. Like we're very close to them. Do you know what I mean? They're all like they really are. I know it's a cliche or family, but we really are. Like we really are. We treat them all. We love every one of them.
That's what John Hedges said was one of the major attractions in signing with SJAM was that it was like a family, that intimacy. Is that a challenge for you though, as the company grows bigger, to still keep that intimate environment?
Do you know what it is, Danny? It depends because like we never thought we thought all the time, like, would we take on some? We've got Shane doing a few bits for us at the moment. Hopefully we're going to try and nurture him and he's going to get bigger and he's going to get a bigger profile out of it. But it depends, Danny, because I don't ever want to have a situation where I can't give time to a fighter because it's not fair. Do you know what I mean? It's not fair in a fight. Like I'm very big on the fact that whether people know this about me or not, if you're going to take a percentage of somebody getting punched in the face for a living, you have to earn your money. Gone of the days of when a manager, this is my personal opinion, can ring up a fighter and say, ring, this is your fight date. Get prepared, bosh. Give me my 20%. No, fuck that. You can't do it. It's robbery. You can't do it. You can't do that anymore. You look at companies like MTK Global. They look after their fighters. They are. Nobody want to say about them. They're a phenomenon. They're a huge. We do a lot of work with them. They're doing great things. They're like branching out. They've got gyms opening everywhere. They're great for fighters. So, but gone are the days of the old-fashioned management ways where you can ring up a fighter and expect to take money off them and not earn it. Do you understand what I mean, Danny? Like it's too hard a business, and I earn every penny. I deserve more than what I'm doing. But it's true. It's true. But I enjoy my job. I love my job.
You mentioned MTK there, and obviously they're doing great things. But when a fighter's turning pro and they have to choose a management team, is it kind of a unique selling point for you guys that you are a bit smaller and you can offer maybe more one-on-one attention?
That's what makes us different, Danny. That's what makes us different, because we're not just going to go and sign everybody. I've identified 2 people from the GB squad who I want to sign. Just 2. If I don't get them, I won't go after any more. Do you know what I mean? If I don't get them, I don't get them.
You're not going to tell us who they are you?
No, I can't tell you who they are. I'll tell you off camera. I don't mind doing that. But no, it's I've identified two fighters there. One from the USA team. I've identified. I don't think to myself, oh, I need to sign as many people as possible to bring in the most money. I have to be, it's not the way we work. I do this full time. So like, I have to be, if I look at a fighter, I have to like them as a person. They have to like me as well. Do you know what I mean? They have to, I know it's probably difficult, but no, but we have to bounce off each other. We have to like each other. We have to respect each other, and we have to have a vision together, because it's a long emotional roller coaster being involved with a fighter. It really is. There's nothing like it.
Give us an idea of the kind of division of responsibility between yourself and Adam. So who does what day to day?
Do you know what it is, Danny? Like it's kind of like Adam does. It's known to Adam does the paperwork kind of side. But look, it speaks for itself. I'm not in the same league as Adam when it comes to dealing with law and contracts. But what you're inheriting with us when you are signing with SJAN, you're getting the best lawyer on the planet. I don't care what anybody says. He's the best lawyer on the planet. He is. He's Gordon Ramsay, Mo Farah. Like he's done work with all of these guys. He's the best. And then with me, I mean, I do believe I know quite a bit about boxing. I'm very, like, I oversee like the opponent choices. Like when Guido fights, I will always look at the opponent first. I'll have to sign it off. We're very anal about what we do. It's perfection or nothing.
Did you always foresee that you would be as public facing as you've become, or was it more that when you started working with Joe, he isn't particularly happy being in front of the cameras all the time?
I don't know, because with Joe, like, people say that he's not a big talker. He isn't. But you've spoke to Joe off camera, Dan. You know that he's a fountain of knowledge. As I say, Joe has more intelligence in his big toe than I have in my whole body. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like he's a very smart man, Joe. He's just not like, because I've done work like Joe when you're doing car auctioneering. When I was a young lad, I'm on a microphone, so like I know like it's my element.
Yeah.
Talking shit for a living. No, that's not what I do. But when I'm put in that situation, that's what I thrive on. That's why people always say to me, "Do you want to be a promoter?" Who knows? One day you never know. I think I'd be the best promoter in the world.
Well, it's good to have that confidence, self-belief.
I'm just telling you, that's just the way it is. I've had nothing given to me. I've done it all myself. Everything I've built, I've done it by myself. I've not inherited anything in boxing. Everything I've got in boxing, I've got myself, and obviously along with the help of Adam.
So let's talk about some of the individual fighters. Joe, as we spoke to him recently, and he's still training as if his fight with Daniel Dubois is going to happen on July the 11th. You're probably closer to the negotiation side. How likely is it that goes ahead on that date?
Danny, you just don't know, do you? Like if I'm being really honest, I'm being very honest with you. I don't know, because tomorrow might be different. Do you understand what I mean? Tomorrow might be different. The day after might be different. We might be closer to a vaccine. We just don't know. Like what my concerns are, Danny. Like, to be honest with you, I was thinking about this the other day. I want boxing to come back so bad, like more than Premier League football. I'm so desperate just to see a boxing match. I want to watch a 4-rounder at York Hall so bad. Do you know what I mean? Like just so. But I would rather this take another 6 months than somebody make a mistake, because if we bring this back too quick, or if a promoter brings this back too quick, and God forbid someone can contract COVID-19 or worse. Do you know what I mean? I don't want to say worse, but like if the worst happened, a fatality happened, can you imagine how bad this would be? Like it would set it back another 2 years. It would set it back. Like we're going to be up shit creek. Do you know what I mean? Like we need to make sure we get this right. Because how can a fighter prepare for a fight right now? How can Joe prepare for Daniel Dubois right now with social distancing? Even when when Boris Johnson eases the restrictions, how the hell can we still say, oh, we can go and fly to America, we can spar close quarters, we can get numerous sparring partners in? It's not safe. It just isn't safe. And I like, what the hell does money mean or boxing mean when it can affect your health? It means nothing.
So it seems rather unlikely then. I don't want to put words into your mouth, but the fact that Joe's going to be restricted on travel in terms of working with Ismail Salas over in the US, and the fact that although other promoters are talking about certain shows taking place behind closed doors, I don't think Frank Warren as yet has alluded to that possibility for Dubois Joyce, and I think he'd sold something like 10,000 tickets before this happened.
Yeah, and a few more than that, I sort of heard. But like, look, Danny, it's like, I mean, I've spoke to Frank. I've been in contact with Frank, and I feel for promoters at the moment because it is possible to put on shows. It is. Look what the UFC are doing. It is possible to put on shows. We can't say it's not impossible to put on shows, but it's very difficult. It is very, very difficult for promoters right now because they're going to lose gate money. They're going to lose their income. Do you know what I mean? Like they're going to have to literally just. But it's not. But again, saying this, it's not the fighters' fault that this disease is out there. Do you know what I mean? It's a real hard situation for everyone. Promoters definitely, because they're gonna have to fork out for this at some point. Like, because we're gonna have to move with the times. Like, if this is gonna be around for a year, then shows behind closed doors are gonna be the norm, aren't they? Which is sad, very sad, because I think the fans make the whole show. I love going into a full boxing arena with the noise, whether someone's calling me something or whatever. Like, it's great. I love it. I absolutely love it. There's nothing better than going to a pack. You would know that as well. Like, there's nothing better than going to a packed out show. Sweet Caroline. Like we're a long way from that, I'm afraid.
Yeah, and I think Dubois versus Joyce is a bigger risk than some of the other shows in that people are on the fence. Is it a pay-per-view? Isn't it a pay-per-view? There's another show on normal Sky on the same night if they both go ahead. And it was reliant, at least in part, on ticket sales. So if it's behind closed doors, is it financially viable?
If it wasn't a pay-per-view before, Danny, it damn certainly is a pay-per-view now. Can you imagine? Can you imagine if that bastard of a show goes along now? It would be crazy. I mean, I've turned into the biggest UFC fan ever. I can't wait to watch Francis Ngannou this weekend. So, like, but it's just all about preparation. How can you prepare for the fight? How can Daniel Dubois prepare for Joe? Like, you can't fly sparring partners in. You can't. What, you're gonna have to quarantine them. You're gonna have to. I don't know how it's gonna work, Danny. Like, I mean, are they gonna they're gonna have to put all the fighters in one hotel for at least 2 weeks, test them every 3 days, because they're all gonna have to use the same gym for 2 weeks. It's just they're gonna have to disinfect the gym after each set. It's going to be unbelievable. It's going to be unbelievable how this is all going to work. But I want my fighters to get paid and keep active and not go rusty. But, like, I won't risk their health over it, Danny. Do you know what I mean?
What did you make of Frank Warren's statements earlier this week regarding Dubois potentially fighting Deontay Wilder? I mean, it's not going to happen by the end of this year, despite what Frank said, because Dubois Joyce might not even happen this year. But do you feel it's kind of looking past your man a little bit?
I think Frank Warren's been in lockdown too long. I think Frank Warren's I think he's been in lockdown too long if he thinks that. You can't listen. I watched Daniel Dubois fight Richard Latte, and before anyone starts again, I rate Daniel Dubois. I don't have to keep saying this. I rate Daniel Dubois. He's going to be a great fighter. He really is. But I watched him fight Richard Latte. If he stood and traded like that for Deontay Wilder, he'd be asleep from now until Christmas. Deontay Wilder's still the heaviest handed, the biggest punching heavyweight on the planet, bar none. Second to nobody. Tyson, he just lost to the people are disrespecting Wilder. Yes, he made stupid comments about the suit being too heavy, and that was ridiculous. He should have just bowed down. I lost to the better man. Tyson Fury is the best heavyweight on the planet. Job done. Let me fight him again, because let's be honest, Deontay Wilder, if I was Deontay Wilder, I'm not taking step aside money. I want my money now, and I want to fight Tyson Fury. Do you know what I mean? Like that's just me being honest. Why should Deontay Wilder step aside? Like, and for anybody, it's like I wouldn't advise him to do that. It's his biggest payday, and he's 35 years old. It's people have got to be sensible. But going back to what I was saying, people are disrespecting Deontay Wilder because he's lost once to an all-time great heavyweight. That's my personal opinion. Like, people say whatever they want about Tyson Fury. He's an all-time great. And as soon as he fights Joshua, and I would favour him to win in that fight. I don't want to disrespect Joshua, because Joshua is also a fantastic heavyweight, a great British heavyweight. But I fancy Tyson to beat him. Then Tyson cements his legacy as the best of his era, and he's got to go in the all-time great list of heavyweights. And people are disrespecting Wilder off one loss.
While it's disrespecting Wilder, is it also disrespecting Joe? Because Dubois got a tough fight to get through before he can even think about Wilder.
let me tell you something now. When Joe fights Daniel Dubois, I'm telling you now, Daniel Dubois has one way to win the fight. He just has one way to win. He's not going to output. Remember, I tell you this. He will not outpoint Joe Joyce. Can he knock Joe out? Yes, I would say he can, because no man's invincible. It's heavyweight boxing. But Joe can definitely knock him out. Trust me. And Daniel Dubois has a history in panicking before fights. Joe doesn't panic before fights. Joe rises to the occasion. Joe can't wait to fight Daniel Dubois. He was so. I've never seen Joe so upset, because you know what Joe, he's like, he's like, if he played poker, he'd be unbelievable, because you just don't know what he's thinking.
Sure.
He was so visibly upset when the fight got called off, and I was as well. I was just, it was emotional because of how expensive the camp was, how great the camp was going. Joe and Lerone were both looking amazing in camp, and really, I know it's like, again, old cliche, camp was going great. There was no injuries, there was nothing. They were both on fire. It was a happy camp. It was just devastating. But listen, it's a big fight, and eventually they will trade blows, and we'll see who the better man is.
Let's talk about some of your other fighters. Cody Davis, changing weight after that setback against Umar Sadiq.
He's not changing weight. He's being the weight that he should have been in the first place. I mean, it's a known thing. I told Cody, I asked him. I said, Cody, do not try super middleweight. You're too big. He did heavyweight at GB. Just because Cody's such a great athlete, he can make it, doesn't mean that it's safe. Do you know what I mean? Like, Cody, it's a push for Cody to make light heavyweight. Do you know what I mean? So, like, to make super middleweight was just ridiculous. But look, we have to win together and we have to lose together. We all have to take the blame. I should have put my foot down. I blame myself. Like, I should have put my foot down. No, you're not doing that fight because it's ridiculous. Myself, Gavin, and Cody, we take the loss together. We forget about it. I don't care about any rematch. There's no point having a rematch. There's no disrespect to Umar Sadiq, but that's going to be the biggest win on his record ever. And we move, and it is. And then we move on, and Cody's going to fight back at light heavyweight. He had a great win against Zach Chelly, and hopefully Cody can fight, I don't know, Craig Richards, Shakan Pitters, or what's the guy's name from Nottingham? Chad Sugden. Chad Sugden, that's a good fight. They can have like a little round robin between those four.
Is it kind of a good thing as well in that Lerone Richards is the champion at super middle anyway, so Cody moving back up is probably good that you don't have two fighters competing in the same division?
Yeah, 100%. I wouldn't make that fight anyway. Yeah, no. Look, if both the boys want, I believe it or not, we discussed it. And if Lerone said to me, Sam, I want to fight Cody, and Cody said, I want to fight Lerone, then let's get it on. Do you know what I mean? It is what it is. It's not something I ever want to. I want to avoid that in my life, but if it happens, it happens. But yeah, Lerone's for me the best super middleweight outside the world, outside the world level. He's the best in Britain, in my opinion. I would like Lerone to. Let's finish off with Cody first. So Cody, that's who we want him to fight. Sugden, one of those fighters, because I don't think Sugden's going to fight Shakan Pitters anymore for the British title. I can because Richards was injured, wasn't he? So I imagine Richards
to get a straight shot again.
Yeah, so I would imagine Richards will fight Shakan Pitters. So why not we do Cody against Chad Sugden and Richards against Pitters? The winners fight each other.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
That's what I would like.
Lerone Richards, you mentioned best fighter in Britain outside of the world level super middleweights.
Yeah.
Does that kind of harm him a little bit in that there's not a lot of domestic competition necessarily for him?
That's why Lerone's in a situation now where why does he have to fight someone like at the domestic level now? Like he came off a long injury and beat Tommy Langford in a good performance. Lennox Clark, he wasn't happy with his performance, but he still won. And Lennox Clark will cause a lot of problems for a lot of super middleweights. He's very game, good chin, powerful. But Lerone beat him in second gear. Lerone now needs to come out of second gear now and show people how good he is. Because, Danny, when I say something, Ismail Salas said to me, he goes, Sam, he's the most talented fighter I've had in my gym since Linares. That's what he said about Lerone Richards. That's how... And Ismail Salas isn't going to say something like it's serious. You know what I mean? Lerone spar like, properly for the first time. I'd watch him a couple of times, but not 10 rounds on the spin. Danny, he was humble. He's going to be a world champion, Lerone Richards.
Do you find that he needs to be maybe a little bit more exciting, and if not in the ring because he's got the silky skills, he's not an aggressive fighter. Maybe outside the ring, people need to get to know his personality a little better. Did you get that?
Danny.
Oh, he's back.
Say that again. I didn't hear that.
Yeah, no worries.
I
said he's not the most aggressive of fighters. So do we need to see more aggression from him in the ring, or do people maybe need to be exposed more to his personality outside the ring?
Both, a bit of both. Lerone needs to put, like, one thing Salah said about Lerone, he sometimes just does enough what he has to do. And now it's the time to start hurting people. Yeah, Lerone's just, because he's so gifted and naturally talented, he can just jab, slip, move, basics, do the basics. He's unbelievable. But now it's the time to put the foot on the gas. And when Salah's kind of shouted at him and said, "Now listen, let's go," Lerone was, look that he has, he's unbelievable. And I can't wait for people to see it. Like, and it's about time we get him Lerone's ready for the world level now. He really is.
Who are the opponents out there that could be that bridge to world level for him? Because you've got the likes of Smith, Ryder, Saunders all wanting to fight each other, and Canelo.
Yeah. Them fights aren't realistically going to happen anytime soon. I would love the Zach Parker fight, but I don't think Zach Parker with a million mile. No disrespect to Zach, but Lerone beat the brakes off him.
But he's also like WBO #1, isn't he, Zach Parker? So you can understand why he wouldn't take the fight regardless of whether he's confident of winning.
Yeah, fine. Yeah, absolutely. But like, is he really going to get a world title shot very soon? Is he really going to? Is Zach Parker from Swaddling Coat really going to go and fight Canelo Alvarez like in the near future? I don't think so. He might fight for a vacant belt. You don't know, and you don't want to take someone's dream away. If that's fair play to Zach Parker. He's been guided very well by the Sauerland. They've done an amazing job with him. He's manager Neil Marsh, great job with him. Bravo, you've done a great job with him. And if I was you, I wouldn't fight Lerone Richards either, because that shit would get ended quickly.
Well, if anyone can believe that someone from Swaddling Coat or Derbyshire generally can ascend to world level, surely it's you.
Don't say Swaddling Coat is Derby. It is not. It's Derbyshire.
Yeah, it's Derbyshire.
It's Derbyshire.
I didn't know such a rivalry existed between Swaddling Coat and Derby.
There's no rivalry, but it's just that Derby's Derby. That's a different part. But yeah, listen. As I say, he has. He's credit to his promoters. Amazing job. Bravo. His manager Neil Marsh. Great job. They've done a great job with him. And listen, if they want to keep wrapping him up in cotton wool until he gets all time, that's what you've got to do. That is what you've got to do. Like, do you know what I mean? That you're doing the best by your fighter. My advice to them is stay away from Lerone Richards. Let me mouth off and say we want the fight and tell Frank we want the fight. But if I was them, I would stay away from Lerone as well, because it's not like any opponent he's ever faced before.
Before we round off, let's talk about the latest addition to the S-Jam stable. John Hedges, 6'5", super middleweight, southpaw, 4-time national champion.
Yeah.
Just a problem in every aspect.
He is a serious. He's going to be serious. Like I know people say, "Oh, he talks loads of shit." He is special, Danny. He is special talent. And if he doesn't win a world title and become a superstar in boxing, everyone's done their jobs wrong.
It's a bit of a coup for S-Jam that you managed to sign someone like that at 18 years of age. It shows how far the company's come.
Yeah. Listen, why not sign with me? No, he's such a likable person as well, Danny. He's such a likable kid. Like you've spoken to him. He doesn't speak like an 18-year-old, does he?
No.
He doesn't speak like an 18-year-old. He's a good-looking sod, isn't he? Like, he's a good-looking sod. He looks like Leonardo DiCaprio in his prime, and he can fight.
I don't see that. I did say that to him. I don't see the Leonardo DiCaprio comparison, but
come on, Danny. Have you never watched Titanic before? You never watched Titanic?
Of course, I watched Titanic.
There you go, mate. He's a prime Leonardo DiCaprio. Probably. I've got a bit of a sore eye at the moment, but no, I'm very, very excited by Danny. Like, I really am. Like, I'd be sad if he has to make his debut behind closed doors, because he sells a lot of tickets, Danny. Like, he's going to be a big ticket seller. He's got an exciting style. He's not just like he's not just like he can box on the out on the back foot, but I've seen him have some real inside tear-ups, and he's a traveller at heart. So he's got that warrior in him that can have it, and he's just, oh, I'm so excited by him. Like, I've never been more excited about a fighter than I am about him.
It must be an interesting challenge to plan for his future, though, because as he's only 18, he's already 6'5". Chances are he's still growing and still filling out. Yeah,
he's going to be. Listen, he could end up being a heavyweight. You just don't know, do you? You just don't know. But he's got he models himself like he loves Tyson Fury. That's his guy. He loves Tyson Fury. But if you speak to him, he's a boxing encyclopedia. He knows so much about boxing. But he's going to be a really, really exciting addition to professional boxing, whoever he signs with, and he will sign with one of the big ones.
Brilliant. Well, really appreciate your time. It's always a pleasure, and I hope we've got to show people a kind of different side to you and to the company and how it all grew. I think that's an interesting part of it.
Thanks very much for having me, Danny. I appreciate it, and we'll hopefully see you soon. Hopefully, it's not going to be on a creepy creepy Skype call.
yeah, just a little bit. All my Skype calls are creepy.
Oh God, it's just different world we're in at the moment. But hopefully it gets everyone stays safe, and we're back sooner rather than later.
Fingers crossed. Stay safe, mate, and I'll speak to you soon.
Good stuff, Danny. See you later, mate.